Welcome to the Orange Cactus Coffee Podcast with Mike Kincaid and Jake Goebel. Join them as they experience specialty coffee and document their journey. These friends explore roasts and roasting methods, brewing equipment and techniques, and review the cafes they visit along the way.
Thanks, Brioni, and thank you for joining us for episode 58 of the Orange Cactus Coffee Podcast, where Manny G recommends the Bonavita Batch Brewer. Mike talks about his adventures in Americanos, following Jim Seven's advice, and then we get into coffee history. Along the way, we stumble across what's going on with Orange Cactus Coffee, what we've been up to over the last couple weeks, and the coffee shops we've visited along the way. So I hope you enjoy it. Let's go ahead and jump right in. Okay, you cue it up and I'll start talking. Guess who's back? Back again. Mike is back. Tell a friend. That was pretty bad. But anyhow, you are not at a rap concert. You are listening to the Orange Cactus Coffee Experience.
You are locked in for the next 40 minutes into this whirlwind of coffee and...
Awesome.
Okay.
No.
Too soon.
Too soon.
Welcome
Too right hooky.
to the greatest show in the world.
Welcome to the greatest show in coffee. Or, well, the most frequent show in coffee. I'm Jake Goebel. I'm sitting here with Mike Kincaid, and you have stumbled across the Orange Cactus Coffee Podcast. Like Brioni said in the beginning, we are exploring specialty coffee and documenting our journey.
Sure trying.
And that's what you have stumbled upon.
Welcome.
And, yeah. Hey, thanks for joining us. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for listening. Thanks for sharing. You guys are awesome. And thanks for the emails.
Love the hate mail.
No, there's not been any.
There has been. There's nothing but love.
There's been nothing but love. That means we're not doing anything right. Good job. Good job. You guys stink. You're a bunch of bums.
Stepping on any toes just
You're a
yet.
bunch of bums.
Or haven't been noticed.
Yeah. So that's really what it is. Nobody knows who you are.
Yeah.
Nobody knows who we are. And that's okay.
Okay.
All right.
Great.
Cool.
Until next time.
All right. Yeah. Talk to you. So this is episode 58.
5-8.
Wow, we just motoring right along.
Just keep on going.
Motoring right along. Are we going to do something special for 100?
Oh, absolutely.
Like what?
I don't know.
On location? Is that we're going to go see King Saguaro at the top of the mountain?
That would be cool. I don't know what we'll do.
We got to do
Maybe
something.
we'll figure out live by then, and we'll have like a live on location recording.
We could
maybe
Facebook
a guest.
Live.
Maybe we can have a guest. Maybe we could have a round table with our favorite guests.
Like in person?
Maybe. Or just have multiple guests. Oh, it'd be a riot.
Wow. We should rent out that. Oh, wow. I'm getting all nervous. This is pretty exciting. So if we
got a ways to go.
If we do 2 a week, and this is like in June, so 40, that's 20 weeks. That's not that long.
20 weeks?
20 weeks.
It's a few months.
It is a few months.
Yeah. Let's worry about episode 58.
Hey, let's get into episode 58. Thank you so much for joining. I'm Jake Goebel. This is Mike Kincaid.
And so...
One of the people that we would have to have there
Who's that?
is Manny G.
Manny G recommends.
Yeah, definitely. He's on the list.
And today, Manny G recommends the Bonavita Batch Brewer. I got to say something, though, real quick to Manny. Manny, how could you hold on? How could you do this? I didn't even know. And then Mike sits down and he tells me, he's like, oh, by the way, Manny's been holding out on us. He had the Bonavita Batch Brewer. He likes it, recommends it, but he sold it. This whole time, we've been talking about batch brewers, talking about what we think we should get. I was like, oh, I didn't even know they made batch brewers. And Mike is like, oh, you got to try the Bonavita. Chris is on talking about, hey, what do you guys think about the batch brewers? And you've been holding out on us this whole time.
Yeah, he's got some words about it here. We could
better
let you know.
Better late than never, Manny. I'm just teasing. I'm not mad at you. I'm mad at you, Manny. But Manny G does recommend heartily. Because remember last time it was kind of a half-hearted Dragon Brewer recommendation. This one is a wholehearted recommendation of the Bonavita.
Yeah, there's actually some some value here. He has,
which is different than what Manny normally brings.
no, when we talked about the Bonavita, we're I think it has a hot plate. No, it doesn't have a hot plate. Yeah, maybe it no, you're right.
No, yeah, let's look at the description on
Manny's
Amazon.
did not have a hot plate. It used the stainless steel carafe, and it was great. He said it kept the coffee water. Coffee water?
Third wave water.
Manny didn't say that. I'm trying to paraphrase as I glance through this. It's brilliant.
So good.
The coffee stayed hot for a long time.
Keep paraphrasing.
So he says here he enjoyed it. He enjoyed it so much that he actually sold it. This is funny.
Perfect. That's exactly what I would do.
Thanks, Manny. No, I think it's a joke. I actually sold it because he wasn't using it. He was actually doing a lot of manual brewing. So didn't have a need for it and found a better home. But he actually liked it. He says the top of the carafe has a screw-on lid that you have to pour the coffee out of. You take that off to put the filter basket on top. I didn't see this as a problem or an issue with losing temperature, but it was a little inconvenient.
Because you brought that up last time, because it seemed like the Be More brazen
brew through lid.
And you were like, I don't know if I want to fuss with the lid.
Yeah.
And Manny says, well, it doesn't lose temperature, but it is a bit of you got to fuss with it.
Yeah, exactly. A little inconvenient. He does say something here, though. Another thing that he didn't like was that unless you screwed the pouring spout cover thing on again, it would not pour out nicely. So you had to use it completely as it was designed. So you take the pouring spout thing off, I guess, to brew, and unless you put it back on, you can't pour it out nicely.
Well.
Yeah, so keep
Whereas
that in mind.
the brazen is just...
Otherwise, it would kind of spill all over. So,
and the brazen is just kind of pull and go.
But it actually does have a pre-infusion setting. You can let the coffee bloom before you brew, which is really nice. So yeah, I think
which you have to with that sweet sag life.
And another thing I've seen since we've actually talked about it is somebody was brewing directly into a Chemex with it, which I thought, oh, that's kind of cool.
Huh?
Yeah.
With the Bonavita?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
So I don't know all the details behind that craziness, but
so you can pretty much pick your carafe.
I think if it will fit.
If it'll fit.
Yeah.
If it ships, it fits.
Yeah.
USPS. Thanks, Manny.
So I thought that was funny, too, because it was a nonchalant, hey, you've been talking about this.
Oh, by the way. Oh, yeah, I've got the decent espresso maker at my house right now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
cool.
I think it's a great brewer. You won't go wrong if you're looking for a batch brewer. Go with the Bonavita. Just screw the lid back on before you try and pour.
And a big shout out to Manny G. He was just on the Destiny Reset podcast again.
Was he?
Yes, he was.
Nice.
He was a featured guest as well. He should be featured.
Yeah.
Wherever Manny goes, he needs to be featured. Because there's a lot of awesomeness with Manny G.
Full of wisdom.
Full of wisdom.
All right. Great.
So, let me tell you who else is full of wisdom. I got nothing. It's so bad. Well, we're supposed to go into into coffee experiences.
Yeah, I've got one for you.
You got to give me a little pause when I say coffee experiences. I need a pause because I'm trying to create like sound effects to go in there.
No, well, you didn't tell me that.
You told me last time that you wanted me to.
I wanted one for the history.
Oh, okay. I'm going to work on that one.
I didn't know you were doing
well.
one for coffee experiences.
I thought you said for all the categories.
I might have.
Okay.
Let's start with history.
Okay.
Or you can do one here too.
Okay. Coffee experiences. Coffee experience. So you went to Peavine. Tell me about that.
Here's the experience. Jim 7. Got to get my right Jim here.
Yeah.
He did a video on better Americanos.
What?
And I was like, how do you have better?
How do you have a better Americano? It's espresso and water.
Yeah.
How do you make it better?
Well, here's how. And I guess there's debate on if this is technically an Americano, but whatever. It had another name that somebody's like, isn't there, depending on the way that you create the drink. If you add the espresso to the cup first and then pour the hot water on top, or if you put the hot water in first and then add the espresso.
They're two different drinks?
They have different names.
You're kidding me.
No. At least that's what I was able to ascertain from the comments.
Can you taste the difference?
So here's this thing.
I don't think you can taste the difference.
No, but there is value in this. He said, if you want better Americanos, do this. Pull the shot, because some will actually pull the shot directly into the cup with the hot water already, right? So I guess that's it doesn't allow you to do this little hack. Pull the shot as you normally would, in a little shot glass.
Shot glass.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever you're pulling into.
But if it's a bad shot, it's a bad shot.
Yeah, start with a good shot. And then scrape the crema off and throw it away.
What?
Take the crema off. Spoon it off.
I know. I'll just...
Take it off. No, because if you actually taste the crema by itself, it's very bitter.
Yeah, I like that.
And that's why they usually give you a spoon, because you're supposed to stir it all up so that it mixes the bitter with the sweet.
Crema.
A lot of people do. But he says for your Americano, if you want the flavors from an espresso, but more in the style of, because it's basically a coffee. It's an American-style coffie that you're shooting for. But
it's a watered-down shot of espresso.
Exactly. So you take the crema off and then add it to the hot water. So I went up to Peavine. Tori was there, our boy Tori. He was hustling.
Yeah.
And it was fairly busy. And I was going to ask him, I ordered the Americano, and I wanted to request this, but I also didn't want to be an inconvenience.
Which you are. You're an inconvenient pest.
So I kind of waited, and he pulled a couple other drinks, got some food ready, was doing his thing, and then there was kind of a break.
And that's when you struck.
And he was getting ready to pull it, and I went up and I said, hey, can we do something different? And
he looks at
me and
you.
He goes, yeah, what do you want to do? I'm like, can you pull the shot for the Americano?
Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second real quick. Just to paint the context here. Tori is the owner of Peavine Coffee House in the Prescott Mall.
Yeah, the Gateway Mall.
The Prescott Gateway
Arizona.
Mall. And dude is down for whatever. And he's awesome.
Good dude.
Good dude. We'll do whatever for you.
Yeah.
Like, I handed him my phone once and said, could you take pictures of your new bottomless portafilter for me? And he's like, no problem.
Yeah.
And takes pictures of that. And then him and the missus, his wife is like, you've never had a dirty chai? Here, let me make you one real quick.
Yeah.
Just a freebie. They are just great people.
Yeah,
so anyhow, there was a lull in the action, and you asked Tori, hey, can we do something a little different? Yeah. And he's down for whatever.
It's going to sound crazy. Pull the shot, scrape off the crema, and then add it to the hot water. He's like, he looked at me kind of like you did, like, wait, but you mean the nice? And I said, just do it.
Just try it.
So he did. He's like, yeah, no problem. So he did, and it was pretty good. I have to admit, I didn't know, as the coffee, it was pretty hot. And that's the one thing I have against Americanos. I think most people use a little bit too hot of water.
Yeah, almost scalds the coffee.
It does. You got to be careful. Taking it straight out of the boiler is not a good idea.
Unless you're at Chris Griffith's workplace, and you get the 175 degree.
Yeah. Well, and I think
hot water.
That's even a little better because that's just for brew. I think the boilers in some of the espresso machines are just way too hot.
Yeah.
And so you got to be careful with that. So it was a little hot, but it wasn't too hot. But as it cooled, it was just, like having a standard cup of coffee, but you had more of a punch from the espresso, and it wasn't bitter at all. Wow. It was actually really good. So there's your recommendation. There's my experience. Give it a shot.
Nice job, Jim 7.
Yeah.
Give it a shot.
I think you could even take it a step further if you want to taste how it's impacted. When you're drinking a shot of espresso, take the crema off and either taste that directly or taste the shot without the crema, and you'll see it's probably more flavorful. He says the crema looks so pretty, but it really doesn't taste that great.
That's what Jim said. That's sacrilege. I spit on myself. This is crazy. What are you talking about?
That's the truth. It's along the same lines as a French press, right? You have all that nice little foamy stuff at the top.
Yeah.
It looks appetizing. It looks delicious. No, it's the same idea. It's bitter.
Scrape it off.
It's bitter fines that are way over extracted.
Scrape it off and let it sit for 10 minutes.
Yeah. Just shows you. Sometimes you got to take the beauty away to actually enjoy the substance.
Yes.
On that bombshell.
On that bombshell. Speaking of taking the beauty away. No, I'm just teasing. I went to Yellow Leaf Coffee House to get a drink. Interesting thing about Yellow Leaf, it is an espresso stand. A double-sided espresso stand. Do you need me to pause it?
Nope, we're good.
Okay.
Sorry.
So it's a double-sided drive-up espresso stand.
Pick a side.
And it is inside a parking lot.
Hit up the north side, though.
The parking lot does not belong to Yellow Leaf. The parking lot belongs to someone else.
Yeah, property owner.
So here's the challenge. Typically you think, well, why does this even matter? Well, if your business, if your coffee dream is an espresso stand, drive-up espresso stand, you got to take the into account that not everything is inside your control.
Yeah.
They had to close several times over the last week because the parking lot was getting refinished.
Yeah.
Now, the parking lot's beautiful now, but that's lost revenue.
Yeah. 3 days, I think. At least 2, maybe 3 days.
And big days,
Full
too.
days.
Like on Saturdays when there's big stuff going on in town, like they're
Big
in a
coffee
good
days.
they're in a good location for kind of the Prescott Valley Event Center, and there's stuff going on,
Major crossroads.
and they had to be closed.
Yeah.
They had to close. They had to be closed. Anyways,
I think it's because the business that they showed a lot with is a Monday through Friday shop.
it's convenient for them
It's a little bit
to
it's a
close
doctor's
on the
office,
weekends.
right?
Yeah.
So, they probably
Yeah.
got a little more pull.
Yeah, it's a
And
doctor's
They might even
office.
own the lot.
I think they own the lot.
Yeah.
And they are an optometrists.
I think so.
Yeah, and they're closed on the weekends.
Optometrist.
Eye doctors,
Optimistic.
optimistic eye doctors, and they're closed on the weekends, and so the Yellow Leaf's at their mercy.
Yeah.
And it was frustrating for the employees, and
And I think the way it was
they're just
handled,
kinda-
it's like, oh, we just were notified. We're sorry.
we just found out.
We got it.
Like they threw it up on social media. They threw a sheet on their window,
Yeah.
and they had to close.
I think that also applies too if you own or if you're renting, like if you're in a strip mall or anywhere that you don't own that property or that parking lot's a shared lot,
You don't have control.
you're going to be, something like that, 2-3 days, especially if you're just starting out, could be really
really tough.
That's a big
Could
hit.
be really tough.
If you're just breaking even and now you take away your 3 biggest days of the month or, 2 of them.
It's a tough gig. Tough gig to
So
go.
is
It's just
it-
things
what
to talk about,
what do
things
you do?
to.
You have contingency plans? What does this mean? What do you think is better? Do you have...
I think you can get creative with it if you have flexibility. Now, if you don't have any flexibility, because espresso machines are what, $20,000 for a 3-group, machine, and it sits there and you can't move it or whatever.
Yeah.
I think you have to think outside the box.
Yeah.
Like, how could you still serve coffee to customers? What about like a stand? Do you have a backup plan?
Been interesting, huh?
To me, it was starting to think. So I've got this drive-up espresso booth stand. Do I have something mobile?
Yeah.
Can I go to the other side? Can I just go to the street? Like, people are coming up. They're coming to you. Your regulars are coming.
Yeah. They're coming.
They are coming. How do you serve them? Can you?
I think
Is
you
there
could
anything
get
you can
pretty
do?
creative. I think one of the things you could do is, because it's a little warm here, we're starting at the beginning of summer.
Yeah.
So most of the drinks might be blended. I know some so you could maybe have some straight up.
They always ask me, hot? You want that hot? And I was like, yes, hot.
You could have some straight up air pots with just regular coffee for
the
people that
morning.
want hot. But then you could have cold brew. And you could have cold brew and serving cold drinks instead of using espresso, because most of their cold drinks actually is used. They actually
Their cold drink is?
They actually is.
Their cold drinks is? Okay, yeah. Go ahead,
Present
keep going.
tense, because right now,
Right.
it's happening.
Right. Drinks is. Drinks are.
They don't do hot shots there.
They don't do hot
use
shots.
cold brew for their cold drinks.
Yeah.
So if you got a blender,
Yeah.
a little bit of power,
Yeah.
blender,
Yeah.
ice,
Yeah.
powder,
Yeah.
cold brew,
Rocket.
you've got your cold drink.
What about this? What about if you had some air pots out there?
That's what I just said.
Can you let me finish, please?
No,
Please?
you didn't let me finish.
What about if you had a couple air pots out there and you were just giving away
I thought about that.
free coffee in the morning? Like, they drive up, hey, we don't have any of our regular stuff. We don't have an espresso machine.
Yeah.
We just found out this thing was going to be closed. Here's a cup of coffee on us. Some sugars
Yeah.
and some half and half. How do you like it?
I like the idea. I know that wasn't what you meant. You're asking the customer how you like, but I like the idea. But I think now you're turning into just a loss of revenue into an expense. It's making fun of the situation, but I think you could still sell.
But you're still brand building.
You are. So there's value, but I think you could still sell. Hey, we got hot coffee and we've got our cold drinks. I can't give you straight up hot espresso, but who gets straight up hot? Nobody. All their cold drinks, I don't know. I guess the hot latte, but you can use cold brew and customers would still be satisfied.
Yeah.
They really would. And I think what you could do is discount it. Since this is kind of an offshoot menu, everything's half price.
Yeah.
But here's what we got for you.
$2.
I think it would just be cool to see them like
Something.
just doing, and not that they didn't try. We don't really know the whole story. Maybe they did. Maybe they just couldn't pull anything together in 24 hours.
Yeah.
Because it was
Or overnight.
48 hours,
or
whatever it
something.
was.
Yeah.
But just something, I think if you have that in mind, I think that's one of the things, that's a mark. I read a book once.
You read books?
Yeah, once in a while. And in this book, it says that successful leaders, generally have thought about what happens if this doesn't work. We're going to do this. What if that doesn't work? In their mind, they have mind mapping, they call it. They've mentally seen the problems that they might encounter, and they already have a plan for it. And I think there's value in that. What happens if our espresso machine goes down? What are we going to do? What happens if the parking lot is being paved? What happens if all my employees call in sick? You know what I mean? I think thinking of these scenarios beforehand might just give you that little bit of edge to take a disastrous day to a bad day. You know what I mean? Just up a notch. Or it might even be a brilliant day that you have fun with because you're ready for it. Something to think about.
It almost seems like they have the commercial kitchen. Why don't they have a cart as well? You know what I mean?
It just hasn't been part of their business model.
Hasn't been part of their business model. Maybe this could be the thing that shakes it up.
Yeah, just something decent.
Something decent. Get you something decent. Something mobile, something decent.
I think it's a great idea, though. Contingencies.
Having a little bit of contingency plan.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Cray. I was going to say great and okay.
Cray. That's cray. So what else are you drinking at home? Can you share with us anything about the Ethiopians you've been roasting to try and come up with the King Cup?
Yeah. Ordered 3 Ethiopians from Sweet Maria's.
Sweet Marie's?
Sweet Marie's. I like
Sweet Maria's.
SM. No, Sweet Maria's.
Please stop. Please stop.
And they've got a couple. 2 of them are Yirgacheffies. Yirgacheffe. Different regions. Funny little story. I was sample roasting 4 ounces.
On your sample roaster?
Well, I was just doing a small amount.
Yeah.
On the B-more. And I...
On the Beezy.
Got through the first 2 pretty good, and I'm trying to roast them all the same.
Pretty well.
And that's okay, because they're all Ethiopians, so they'll respond very similarly. The third one, for some reason...
Shut it down.
The B-more's like, no, ain't happening.
Done.
I confess I wasn't paying attention as well as I should have, but...
This is the second time this has happened to you where you haven't been paying attention and it shut down on you.
I've done this more than I can count.
Oh, nice.
But the profile I was using should not have hit the temperature limit, so I was baffled. So maybe the beans were handling the heat a little differently, whatever. Or it could be that it was also the third roast, and I had some thermal energy left over from the 2 previous roasts, and plus an 85-degree day in the garage, whatever.
Yeah.
So it killed that roast. So it's okay, though, because that bean isn't even available anymore from Sweet Maria's.
Right.
Which is part of the challenges. You want to sample roast something? Okay, here you go. You might like it, turn around to go buy 50 pounds, 100 pounds, and it's
sold out.
It's gone.
Mixteca, hello, looking at you. We had 20 pounds of Mixteca, and that's it.
Yeah. So keep that in mind. But these 2 are actually quite good. I gave you some today. You're going to try it.
I haven't tried them yet, but I'm excited to.
Yeah, I enjoyed them.
What flavors are you getting primarily? I'm hoping for lemon.
Don't know if they've got any lemon. No lemon zingers there. Lemon's a tough one.
Marshmallows?
Lemon. I don't know. I'm thinking like lemongrass.
Blue pixie stick?
No. I think they're more on the stone fruit. You get a little bit of the stone fruit.
A little bit of apricot, cherry.
Yeah. So I haven't.
Nectarine.
Maybe. But you might get a little fruit, little stone fruit. But I'm not sure about lemon. They're super fresh. 24 hours off the roast, so when they calm down, you might start getting a little bit of that.
Yeah.
A little bit of that coming through. So we'll see. Excited about it. I think the profile I used was good. Probably one of the best to going light. It's tough going light. Because you need to provide enough heat, but you don't want to scorch the beans.
Scorch them.
Or you don't want to just develop the outside and not the inside, because you're applying so much heat that the inside's underdeveloped. So the outside looks like a nice development, but then you cut it open or you grind it up, brew it up, and you're getting all sorts of sour.
Vegetative. Mm-hmm. Vegetable things. What do you think about...
This is your lemon.
Let me see. This isn't lemon. This is lemongrass.
Yeah.
What do you think about going to a farmer's market and trying to sell some coffee beans? What would it take for us to get there?
I don't know.
Oh, good.
I don't like farmers markets.
Why do you not like farmers markets? Do you think it cheapens the brand experience? Or do you not want to do a pop-up because our pop-up tent is now ruined?
Pop-up?
Did I tell you this? That our pop-up
You
broke in
ruined
half?
your pop. Oh yeah, your pop-up's broken.
It snapped in half.
Show up with a busted pop-up.
We showed up. No, we
buy
bought
some beans.
We bought a nice pop-up, and it served us well for many years across many states.
What happened?
It was like $1,000 pop-up.
No.
Yes.
What?
Yes.
Did you buy this for the
Yes, 10 by 10. Yeah, for the previous for the t-shirt business. Yeah. Yes. It was nice. It's a good one.
Yeah.
And so we set it up for a football game down in Phoenix, and it was a windy day. It wasn't that windy though, but it was windy enough. All of a sudden, the wind kicked up. We looked over, and we had it, staked into the ground and everything. It snapped it in half. The beams just went
boom.
And then the best part was, I was like, oh man. So we go over there, we're pulling it down, we're putting it back together, trying to mash it together so we can throw it away in the trash. And so we take it and I put it in a trash can.
Yeah.
And the grounds manager, he comes driving around and he pulls it out of the trash can, throws it in the little ground stuck and drives it away. Kind of like he was watching us.
He's going to salvage it.
Like he knew. Well, no, he threw it in the big dumpster. He knew that we were going to put it in that little trash can.
It.
You think he kept it?
Oh, yeah.
He's
going to fix the legs.
Took the metal? Oh, no, I don't. Well, maybe. Good luck. They were warped and bent and broken.
Yeah. He'll fix it.
Yeah.
He'll sell it. A couple $100 on eBay.
Good to go.
I don't know. I wouldn't be against it. I think it would be neat to offer your beans and have like a couple air pots, taste it, and just sell it. Keep it simple.
Yeah.
I think that would be cool. I don't know, about having like a stand where you're taking orders, serving drinks. I think you just have selling whole bean would be.
That's the key.
Yeah.
Start.
Just to get it out there, right?
Just to start.
Just have some air pots that's pre-made and you're brewing some throughout the day.
See what the...
Yeah. I think that would be kind of cool. You could have some neat, like if you had the Windle Bow Brewer, I forget the name of it, the Wilfa, whatever.
Oh yeah, the expensive one.
Yeah, they're pretty looking. You could be brewing up
the dragon.
Or the dragon.
Or if you had the dragon, either or.
And brewing it, throughout the day, talking about it, just meeting other coffee
lovers. It's only
lovers.
open for like 4 hours.
Yeah.
4 hours.
4 of the hottest hours in the
2
area.
to 6. 2 to 6 p.m.
Yeah.
2 p.m. to 6 p.m. That's what I'm thinking. Anyhow, if you've had some experience, selling at farmers markets, love to hear from you. Whether it's been good to you, very, very good to you or not. Yeah. I don't know. It'd be nice to have a variety of beans, but then there's a part of me that doesn't want to brew up. I mean, would you do 10 bags? What's worth it to show up? 20? I mean, that's a lot of coffee for us.
It's an investment and a gamble and a risk.
Yeah,
and all
it's
that.
Hit or miss.
You just go for it. Yeah. How many are we going to sell? I don't know. So I think, to me, you're probably better off overestimating than getting through an hour and being sold out. I mean, that's nice. That might be exciting, but then...
Poor brand experience.
Well, then what? Oh, you're sold out. I guess maybe people are like, oh, wow, it must have been good. So maybe that's better. I don't know. In my mind, you want to have more than enough. Yeah. People want to show up and you just got coffee. I'm selling coffee. Look what I got. Check this out. Try it. And then they show me you got like 2 on your table.
Hey,
well, what are you doing? There's 2 dudes behind the table and you got 2 12-ounce bags sitting there.
2 dudes and some coffee.
And a coffee brewer.
What up?
Yeah. You like coffee?
We like coffee too.
Hey, you want to buy some beans? I don't know. I think it just goes back to the shop selling the brewers.
There's 2 creepers over there starting to sell coffee.
This dude running around with an AeroPress asking if anyone wants to buy it. He says it's like a giant syringe, but for coffee. Yeah.
And there's this huge white van that says free coffee behind them.
Yeah.
The free coffee van. You're getting...
Yeah, and I think he's got a gold tooth as well. Yeah, this is the making of a real successful venture.
This is good. This is real good.
So I don't know.
So
maybe
you had another coffee experience though. It wasn't just you having an Americano at Peavine. Manny G recommended the Book of Roast. Manny G recommended the Book of Roast.
Yep.
It was a 400-page monster for like $5,000, and you pulled the trigger on it. Okay, it was like $125. It was a lot of. I mean, it was
cheap.
It was a lot of money.
It's cheap.
And I know where you work. I'm starting to think maybe you're selling coffee on the side.
Okay.
Are you selling drugs on the side?
You own quite a few books.
Are you selling coffee?
I think the folks can see you own quite a few books.
Okay.
If you ever bought any type of instructional book or
A manual.
a manual book,
Yeah.
or even, not to mention some of the college courses.
Yeah.
Those books are
Pricey.
$400, $500, $600. It's
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah.
It's insane. So I asked Manny. I said, Manny, you got to pick the Book of Roast or coffee courses. He said, start with the Book of Roast, coffeecourses.com. They've got, $400, or you can buy the individual sessions, $150, whatever.
And we've given coffeecourses.com their props before.
Oh, yeah. Great
you
resource.
took a free light roasting course.
I'm working through it. Haven't finished it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So good stuff. But then you went out and you pulled the trigger on the Book of Roast, and it is huge.
It is.
It's huge. It does look like a soft cover coffee text or college textbook is what it looks like. It's exactly what it looks like. It's it's not 8.5 by 11. It's like 12 by 13. Yeah, 12 by 10, something like that. And it's just loaded with pictures and all kinds of stuff.
It's, as you said last time, and we've talked about, a compilation of new and past Roast Magazine articles. So it's like a treasure trove.
A treasure trove? Tell me more about this treasure trove that you found, Michael.
And it goes into many different things. So I'm going to be working through that. That's all in our effort to produce a better cup. Be learning the bullet. Be learning a little bit more about roasting. And we'll keep you informed on what we learn.
Yeah.
And any interesting things that I come across, absolutely going to share.
Come across or come across?
Come across.
Oh, okay, perfect. So the last little bit that we'd like to talk about today is coffee history. Coffee history with Michael Kincaid. Yeah, kind of boring, but listen anyway.
A little bit of history.
A little bit of history. So,
Do you remember?
we've been going through this Kevin Sinnott book, The Art and Craft of Coffee. And he covers in the beginning, a brief portion of coffee history. It starts with us having a goat to thank. We talked about Costa Rica and how the government handed out coffee beans in order to spur on coffee growth, the kind of investment in the future that also spurred along the modern banking industry in Costa Rica. We talked about the religion meeting coffee and how Islam was first against it, Muslims were first against it, but then for it, and also how Pope Clement tasted coffee and declared it appropriate for all of Christendom. Whether the Roman Catholic Church is actually part of Christendom is a completely different topic that we're not going to broach here. And then we talked about coffee spreading into Saudi Arabia. And in Turkey, last time, a couple shows ago, maybe episode 50.
Well, I think the last one we did too, we did a little kicker on the ristretto.
That's right. It was on the ristretto. It was about women could divorce their husbands for not providing coffee. It was, you had to provide, food, shelter, and coffee in Turkey. And that's kind of the thing.
It's still a valid reason today.
And it is still a valid reason. So coffee growing no longer just for Arabia. Is that where you want me to go here?
Yeah, we were right here.
Yeah, perfect. So let's a little bit longer, but that's okay. I'm gonna I'm gonna read it in an entertaining fashion.
Chop it up.
I can chop it up some. All right, coffee growing no longer just for Arabia. By the late 60s, because there is some dispute whether it was in Yemen or Ethiopia where it first started, and they're across the water from each other.
Yes.
So I mean, it's not like
a little skip.
Yeah, it's a rock skip
over the pond,
a rock jump away. Yeah,
goats can travel fast,
and goats swim. Goats make boats. Goats
especially
do
after they consume
much.
Coffee beans. They're just all over the place.
Yeah, I mean, if the dancing goat is going that way, so who knows? By the late 1600s, coffee, all of which came from Yemen and Ethiopia, as they battled out for the history of coffee, was Europeans' drink of choice. But with the explosion of maritime shipping and colonialism at its peak, nations wanted to control their own coffee drinking destiny by sourcing beans from home. This control meant independence and new industry. The Dutch, in the mid-1600s, tried first. When they won control of Ceylon, present-day Sri Lanka, in 1658, they began a full-scale coffee industry there. They finally had land on which coffee would grow. In 1699, so that is 41 years later, Dutch colonialists began production in Indonesia, bringing coffee plant cuttings from India to Java. Curiously. Java. Remember, there's the island there, right?
Yeah.
The island of Java.
Cup of Java.
Yeah, and that's not to be confused with Jawas, which are kind of short, brown cloak-wearing Star Wars characters with glowing eyes.
Jawas. Now they're confused with Jabberwockies.
Yeah, or the Jabberwockies, which is a dance crew out of L.A. that wear masks on their faces. Right. So curiously, the Dutch did not guard their coffee plant cuttings as carefully as they could have, storing a number in the Amsterdam Botanical Garden and purportedly giving some to other European countries as gifts. Tactical error there. Big mistake, bro.
Yep.
If the Dutch shocked historians with their generosity, even more stunning was the liberality of France's King Louis the XIV. That's Roman numerals. Messed me up there for a second. Louis
14th.
Louis, whoa, distributed cuttings from his single cutting, a gift from the Dutch government in 1714 to various French colonies in the New World. King Louis entrusted infantry officer Captain Gabriel Mathieu de Clio to take the cuttings to French colonies. This was no easy task. A challenging sea journey became near impossible when coupled with trying to keep a plant alive on board. Dude, we can't even keep sailors alive. How are we going to keep this plant alive? De Clio detailed in his log battles with battles with pirates, a spy on board, storms, drought, and heat. But all along, he nurtured the shoot. Indeed, he claimed his plant survived the difficult voyage only because he shared his water rations with it. Kind of reminds you of Rocket Raccoon and Groot in the Guardians of the Galaxy series. He's always walking after the first movie. He was kind of walking around with the little baby Groot, and then baby Groot in the second movie. Yeah. When the boat reached Martinique, the chosen spot for France's first planting, de Clio had to make the single plant survive and prosper. He succeeded, motivating local farmers to make coffee, not cocoa, their primary crop. King Louis, who had previously felt lukewarm about de Clio, honored the man with governorship of Martinique. Dude, if you want to get ahead in life, coffee's the answer.
That's it.
Am I right?
Just keep the plant alive.
Just keep the plant alive, bro.
Take this little seedling.
That's all you got to do.
Get it across the ocean.
Matthew, you had one job. One job.
Yeah. There might be pirates. There might be spies.
Yeah.
You might have to ration your own water.
Right. There might be heat and drought, storms. But, bro, you have one job. Keep this plant alive.
That's crazy.
Meanwhile, cuttings from de Clio's plant spread. Soon all neighboring Caribbean islands possessed coffee and a new industry was born.
Is that crazy?
Do you say Caribbean or?
Caribbean.
Caribbean or Caribbean?
Caribbean.
Caribbean or Caribbean?
I think it depends.
Do you say Dramamine or Dramamine?
Just depends.
Oh, okay. Cool.
That's it.
I say Caribbean.
Caribbean.
All neighboring Caribbean islands possessed coffee, and a new industry was born. Brazil's capture of the previous coffee plant from which to build its own empire is equally dramatic. In one account, a Brazilian lieutenant seduces the wife of the governor of French Guiana to obtain a coffee plant cutting supposedly concealed within a bouquet of flowers.
You can't make this up.
You can't make this up.
This is nuts.
So this Brazilian lieutenant,
so that's where we get Sweet Maria's from.
He hits up the governor's
Maria.
wife.
We'll call her Maria.
And Maria seduces Maria and
Gets coffee from her.
I love you. Maria, I love you. And then steals it out of the country in a bouquet of flowers.
Yeah.
This scheme in 1827 spawned the entire Brazilian coffee industry.
Is that crazy?
We have adultery to thank for coffee.
Yeah.
This is unrighteous. No wonder it's so wicked and evil. I can't believe this. I can't drink Brazil anymore.
No.
The Brazilians.
But think about it.
A Brazilian wax?
Listen. The way coffee. Okay, what these people did to get coffee.
Yeah.
And now what we go online.
Yeah. I just go on. Well, I can do that. I can seduce women online as well.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
But you can just go order.
Hold on, let me rephrase. I can't, but there are men who can. We just use the internet for everything now.
It just shows you it has to start somewhere.
Somebody's got to put in the work. Dude had to put in the work. They said, hey, LT, it's your job to go seduce the governor. Like, they didn't say what the governor's wife was. Never mind.
No, but even going back to the other one from France, the sacrifice, just forget Brazil.
I'm sorry.
The sacrifice that he
French
had to make.
Guyana.
Right? This little seedling, you're going to keep this alive. Why? Why am I risking my life, the life of my men?
It is the seed of an entire industry.
Insane.
Yeah.
It's insane what it's become.
You know, they're trying to grow coffee in California now.
Are they?
Where they grow avocados. They got some mountains there, Escondido, Temecula area. A lot of avocados grow there.
They might. I mean, I think you could easily grow it in a
greenhouse.
Yeah, like they do with pot and all that.
The thing with coffee is you don't know for years.
Yeah, at least 3 years.
That's the thing.
This isn't any good.
You don't know. It's not like you can grow it now and then you find out.
I think you can better
months.
your chances by getting going to farms that have got a proven track record and purchasing, getting their seedlings and getting their
most
what did he call it? Their
farms don't
leaf.
Most farmers don't grow their produce at elevation on the mountainside.
Exactly. Yeah,
it's just a challenging environment to try and grow in.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's cool though to think about.
Who's going to grow on the side of the mountain?
You wanted to grow here.
I did. I still do.
Let's do it.
I still do. I want to put a greenhouse right there. I'm pointing outside my window. I got a little window in the office. I've got a little flat land out there. I think we put a greenhouse there. We're at 5,000 feet.
Yeah.
The only thing we got to fight off is the frost, right?
Well, I mean, you have seasons.
Yeah, we have good soil.
Yeah. We can probably grow a couple.
We could grow something.
Yeah.
Just something decent.
Something decent.
A decent little coffee plant.
So there's a little more history for you.
But see, Tim, he just said, okay, I'm not going to grow it here in Norway. Norway? Stockholm? Norway? I'm not going to grow it here in Norway. I'm going to go to Colombia. Colombia.
Buy my own plot.
Buy my own plot of land. Trust the people. Build relationships with people. It's all about relationships as well. What did it do for Matt? Old Matt, he got himself governorship.
He did.
The king hooked him up. Oh, you took care of the plant? Well done, thou good and faithful servant. And what about the LT? He sacrificed all. It's all about relationships. He had to seduce a woman to get his coffee.
No, it doesn't say to what level of seduction. He might have just said, "Hey,
come on now,
you very pretty.
Come on now, you an adult." That's how the missus gets her coffee. It has to seduce. No, never mind. Oh, never mind.
Never mind.
Never mind.
Moving along.
Never mind. But the point is, it's relationships. Remember,
it is relationships.
In episode 57, we talked about James Freeman and his coffee story.
Yeah.
Remember, it started with relationships.
Yeah.
He took his coffee, he gave it away to other vendors that he admired. You share the same type of view on business, craftsmanship, and just the product that you're putting out. I like that vibe. You take care with it, handcrafted, whatever.
Yeah.
You take good care of your product and you're doing something interesting. I'm trying to do the same thing with coffee.
Exactly.
Can we build a relationship? And he did build relationships with different bakeries and food and chocolatiers and whatnots.
And sometimes I think that's got to be calculated, and sometimes it's just got to be kind of a quantity. You just got to get out there. Maybe one person, right? You hit up 100 people, give them free samples, ask them if they want to buy your coffee, and then one person finally says, "Yeah, let's try it." So sometimes you just got to be persistent. Sometimes you got to be calculated. Wait for it. Kind of get to know some people a little bit, know what they're about.
Yeah,
and then you could promote it.
We don't promote seducing people for coffee, though.
No,
especially married people. We don't promote adultery in any way, shape, or form, whether coffee's involved or not. So just wanted to get that out of the way.
No, because that might have results that seem good in the interim, but they will end bad.
It will end badly for you.
Very badly. Yeah. Wisdom is crying out in the streets.
All right. Yeah, from the same place that folly does.
Yeah, don't go near the door.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Because you know what you should do?
What should you do?
Tune in next time.
You had nothing, right?
I had nothing.
You're like,
I just wanted to say.
Were you waiting for me to say something?
I was just waiting. I was just waiting to say goodbye. I just wanted to say goodbye.
You just want to say goodbye.
I just want to say thanks for listening. Appreciate you tuning in, and we'll talk to you next time.
It's been great. Adios.
Thank Thank you indeed for joining us for episode 58 of the Orange Cactus Coffee Podcast. As always, you can find the show notes at orangecactuscoffee.com/episode 58. We'd love to hear from you, whether you like it, what you'd like to hear more of, what you'd like to hear less of. And as always, the show notes do contain the links to the things that we talked about, including Jim Seven's video on hacking Americanos, and also to Kevin Sinat's book on coffee history. We'll talk to you next time.